Welcome to the Story Lab. I hope you enjoy this story. Let's begin. Evan, my man, it's been too long. Lucas's voice boomed as he strode into my home, arms spread wide. I couldn't help but grin as I pulled my oldest friend into a tight embrace. Welcome back, Lucas. The place hasn't been the same without your larger-than-life presence. Jenna emerged from the kitchen, a warm smile on her face. Lucas, it's so good to see you again. She hugged him, and I noticed the slight flush in her cheeks. Just old friends reuniting, I told myself. I can't thank you enough for letting me stay while I'm in town, Lucas said, his eyes twinkling with that charisma that had always made him so magnetic. You two are the best. Little did I know that those innocent words marked the arrival of a betrayal that would shatter my world. 3 months after Lucas's departure, Jenna approached me with a nervous expression.
Evan, I'm pregnant.
At first, elation surged through me. We'd been trying for a baby, and this was the dream come true. But as the initial rush faded, a nagging sense of doubt crept in. That's wonderful news, honey, I said, forcing a smile. But are you sure it's mine? Jenna's eyes widened, and she swallowed hard. Of course it is. Why would you even ask that? I took a deep breath, steeling myself. Jenna, you know I've always been careful. We agreed to wait until we were ready. I know this is not my baby. Whose father, Jenna? Her resolve crumbled, and tears spilled down her cheeks. Oh, Evan, I'm so sorry. It was a moment of weakness and Lucas. She trailed off, burying her face in her hands. In that instant, my world cracked open. The betrayal of the two people I trusted most cut deeper than any physical wound. After Jenna's confession, a storm of emotions raged within me. Heartbreak, anger, and a burning desire for vengeance. As the initial shock subsided, a cold determination took hold. I would not let this slide. Lucas and Jenna had played me for a fool, and they would pay dearly for their betrayal. Pacing the floor of my study, I formulated a plan. A masterful strategy to dismantle Lucas's dreams and expose Jenna's infidelity in the most humiliating way possible. They thought they could betray me and walk away unscathed? They were gravely mistaken. With each passing hour, my resolve hardened like steel. I would make them regret the day they ever crossed me. I stared at the computer screen, jaw clenched, as I began executing the first phase of my plan. With a few clicks, I withdrew every cent of my investment from Lucas's startup, Infinitech. My phone rang almost immediately. Evan? What's going on, man? Why did you pull out? Lucas's frantic voice crackled through the line. Let's just say I've had a change of heart about supporting your little endeavor, I replied coolly. I don't think Infinitech is a wise investment anymore. But we're on the verge of something huge here. You know that. Don't do this to me, Evan. Not after everything we've been through. I scoffed. We've been through a lot more than you know, Lucas. Good luck finding new investors to fill the void I've left. Over the next few days, I worked my connections, convincing several other major investors to follow my lead. One by one, they abandoned ship, leaving Lucas's precious startup gasping for air. What have you done? Lucas stormed into my office, eyes wild with desperation. The company is falling apart. Investors are fleeing left and right. I leaned back in my chair, a satisfied smirk playing on my lips. Looks like your big dreams of success are crumbling before your eyes. But don't worry, I'm just getting started. Leaving Lucas to wrestle with the unraveling disaster of Infinitech, I turned my attention to the next phase of my plan. A few well-placed calls to some shadier associates, and soon, fabricated evidence of money laundering within Lucas's company began to surface. Mr. Blake, we have reason to believe your friend Lucas Reed is involved in some highly illegal financial activities, an agent from the FBI said, striding into my office one afternoon. I feigned surprise. Lucas? No, that can't be right. He's an upstanding businessman. The agent slid a file across my desk. I'm afraid the evidence suggests otherwise. We're going to need to freeze his assets and bring him in for questioning. Of course. I nodded solemnly. Please, do whatever is necessary to get to the bottom of this. Within days, Lucas was up to his neck in legal turmoil, his assets frozen and the future of his company hanging by a thread. The haunted look in his eyes as he was led away in handcuffs brought me a perverse sense of satisfaction. With Lucas's world crumbling around him, it was time to bring the curtain down on Jenna's life as well. I organized an extravagant family dinner at Chicago's most prestigious restaurant, inviting her parents, siblings, and closest friends. As the main course was served, I stood, tapping my glass with a fork to command the room's attention. Friends, family, thank you all for joining me this evening, I began, my voice carrying a calm, measured tone. I've gathered you here tonight to share some deeply unfortunate news. I turned to Jenna, who shifted uncomfortably in her seat. My dear wife has betrayed me in the most profound way imaginable. I paused, letting the weight of my words sink in. The child she carries is not mine, but the result of an affair with my former friend, Lucas Reed. The room erupted in gasps and murmurs of shock. Jenna's mother brought a hand to her mouth, eyes wide with horror. I will, of course, be filing for divorce immediately, I continued, resting a hand on Jenna's shoulder. I hope you can all find it in your hearts to offer her the support and guidance she so desperately needs in this trying time. Jenna dissolved into sobs, her world crashing down around her as every pair of eyes in the room bore into her with reproach and disdain. My revenge was complete. A few weeks after the disastrous family dinner, there was a frantic pounding on my front door. I opened it to find Lucas and Jenna, both looking utterly defeated. Evan, please, you have to stop this, Lucas pleaded, his usual bravado nowhere to be found. Jenna stepped forward, tears streaming down her face. We made a terrible mistake, but you're destroying us. Have mercy. I folded my arms across my chest. Mercy? You two betrayed me in the worst possible way. You think a few crocodile tears will make that all go away? The company is in ruins, Lucas said, running a hand through his disheveled hair. The legal fees are bleeding me dry. I've lost everything. Good, I spat. You deserve it after the way you stabbed me in the back. Jenna dropped to her knees, cradling her swollen belly. I'm carrying your child, Evan. Don't punish an innocent baby for our sins. My jaw clenched as I stared down at her. That innocent baby is a constant reminder of your infidelity. Don't think appealing to my humanity will sway me. With that, I slammed the door in their faces, leaving them to wallow in the consequences of their actions. The divorce proceedings were a bloodbath, with my lawyers ensuring Jenna received as little as possible in the settlement. I wouldn't let her profit from her betrayal. Please, Evan, I'm destitute, she sobbed during one hearing. I have nowhere to go, no means to support myself and the baby. I turned to her, eyes cold and unfeeling. That's the price you pay for your lies and deceit. Did you think there wouldn't be ramifications? Lucas fared no better, his company crumbling under the weight of the lawsuits and criminal investigations. The man who once seemed destined for greatness was now a broke, disgraced shell of his former self. I've lost everything because of you, he hissed when our paths crossed outside the courthouse. My business, my reputation, my future? I shrugged. You have no one to blame but yourself. You wanted my life, and this is the price you paid. As they slinked away, broken and defeated, I felt a strange sense of vindication wash over me. They had brought this upon themselves. In the aftermath of my vengeance, I turned my focus to rebuilding my life from the ashes of betrayal. My business thrived as word of Lucas's downfall spread, almost as if the scandal had bolstered my reputation. This is where our story comes to an end. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for your precious time. If you enjoyed this story, then please make sure you subscribe to this channel. That would help me a lot. Click on the video you see on the screen, and I will see you there.